Previously on Shawn's YouTube channel.
Hey everyone, today we are going to talk about the anime BurnUp. Now the original BurnUp came out in 1991 and it was a pretty good girls with guns cop anime. It didn't break any new ground in my opinion, but it was competent at what it did. The character designs were good, the action sequences were good, the animation was good. I'm not entirely certain how this became a franchise and spawned as many sequels as it did, but 5 years later in 1996 they came out with BurnUp W. And then that was so successful that 1 year later, we got BurnUp Excess. And I'm not going to talk about any of those animes. Instead, I'm going to talk about the final anime in the BurnUp franchise, and that is BurnUp Scramble. Now, I used to actually work at a video store, and one of the things they did at Blockbuster is they didn't like to give out bonuses, and if you won a competition or you were employee of the month, they didn't like to give you any kind of real prize. They gave you a gift card, and they hoped that whatever you wanted to buy in that gift card would exceed the amount, so you'd actually have to give money to the store. But I would save these up, and I would, buy upcoming releases that I was interested in seeing that we didn't get at the store. And BurnUp was one of those. So, I had it, and as I said, I watched it, and I was kind of disappointed, and it just sort of sat on my shelf for many years. And so, after several years, I decided to give it another shot, and I decided to watch it again, this time with no preconceived notions, and in all honesty, I enjoyed it. It's nothing to write home about. It isn't really awful. I don't think it's as good as the previous series, but it's still very enjoyable. The action sequences are good. The characters are still likable. I mean, they got the same names as the characters from BurnUp W and BurnUp Excess, but they've undergone many changes in terms of character design and personality and even how they function in the plot of the show. Now, while I said I wasn't going to talk about the other series, I need to address a couple of things. The BurnUp franchise is made up of 3 sagas. You've got the 1991 OVA, the W and Excess series, and then you have Scramble. Each saga tells the stories of female police officers. And in each saga, the lead character is a fiery, buxom blonde. She has a partner who is more level-headed. Well, most of the time she's more level-headed. And their ditzy friend. Now, you would think that these were the same characters in every iteration, but that's where you would be wrong. W, X, and Scramble follow the adventures of Ryo, Mayu, and Lilica, while the original 1991 BurnUp follows the adventures of Maki, Remi, and Yuka. Now, the reason I mention this is that BurnUp W takes place several years after the events in BurnUp. Maki has dyed her hair blue, and she's moved up the ranks in the police force, and she has created a secret elite team called Warrior. And they are called upon to handle incidents that fall outside the jurisdiction of what a normal police can do. Maki has handpicked exceptional police officers that she feels have been underutilized. You can kind of think of this as a cross between the zombie squad in the Stallone movie Cobra and Charlie's Angels. Although I'm not exactly sure if Maki is Charlie or Bosley. Well, anyway, the setup is similar in Scramble. Ryo and Mayu are low-level police officers who are also part of a secret team called Warrior. They also get their orders from a high-ranking female officer, and I'm pretty sure that this officer is supposed to be an older version of Maki, but in Scramble, this character doesn't have a name. She is only referred to as Warrior's Commander. If she is indeed Maki, then she has an extremely interesting character arc, and it is a pity that is not covered at all in the Scramble show. It also means that much like the Godzilla franchise, where each reboot is a sequel to the original movie, no matter what series you're watching, all roads lead to 1954, although in the case of BurnUp, I guess, all roads lead to the 1991 BurnUp OVA. Ryo is probably the closest to her other incarnations. While the character designs are wildly different, she has a slightly similar look, and her personality is pretty similar, although in Scramble she is less fixated on money and more fixated on getting a boyfriend. I guess Yuji is still sort of Ryo's love interest. In this series, he is smitten with Ryo, but 90% of the time she either doesn't realize he exists, or she wishes he would just sort of go away. Mayu, even though she looks totally different, is still a gun nut. Lilica is probably the character who has changed the most. She is no longer the pink-haired computer expert, and she now has psychic powers that she has trouble controlling. Comedy. Her character design is completely different. She no longer has pink hair. She's no longer the flattest girl in the group. She's now fairly busty, so psychic abilities and big boobs, I guess that's a trade-up. What do you think, comment section? Most of the technology in the BurnUp franchise isn't too different from the tech of the time it was made. While BurnUp takes place in the future, unlike most cyberpunk animes, well, I guess it leads into it now in Scramble because, you know, the psychic element definitely turns up the sci-fi dial. The series itself, it's okay. I mean, everything about it is okay. The animation's okay. I see better. I see worse. The character designs are okay. The music, it's okay. The action sequences, they're okay. I don't want to say they're bad, because they're definitely not. But the action sequences in the previous BurnUp animes are so much better. In fact, I would almost argue that the original 1991 BurnUp OVA, the animators did the OVA because they wanted to prove that they could do an animation, something that rivaled what Hollywood was doing in major motion pictures. I mean, as I said, the animation and the action sequences, they're good in this series. You'll enjoy them, but it doesn't stand out from anything else that was being done at the time. The show follows a case of the week deal, which is it's okay. But there's no sort of story arc to the series. Well, not until you get to episode 9. But it almost felt to me like the animators were all set to do a movie or a 4-part OVA when the studio said, "What? We thought you were making a TV series." And the animators went, Hold on, I think I can pull 8 episodes out of my butt. The first 8 episodes are mostly played for jokes, and they're really light and fun. But during episode 9, the girls are on an undercover mission aboard a cruise ship, and that's when they learn that their unit isn't what they think it is. Now, I really can't go on without being a bit of a spoiler. So if you don't want to be spoiled, turn off the video now. I'm pretty certain that YouTube has probably recommended some sort of cat video in the sidebar over there. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you're planning on watching this, and you want it to be all fresh and exciting, go check out those adorable kitties. I'll wait a little bit while you make up your mind. Cats, you know they're cute. Maybe I'll go in the book. So, you're still with me? Good. In episode 10, the warriors are dealing with a hostage situation. The commander wants them to take the shot, but Ryo and Mayu, they're worried about civilians getting hurt. The commander makes the call to send out the newest members of Warrior, who will definitely take the shot. Not only do they take the shot and kill the criminal, they also kill the hostages, and they also seriously wound Ryo and Mayu, who try to stop them, and then they destroy all the evidence. The commander, however, is satisfied with these results. The new warriors are genetically modified women with superhuman strength gained via drugs, and their skills were based on data obtained by monitoring Ryo and Mayu's earlier missions.
Well, at least we were able to see some results from the new team. From what we saw today, it seems their abilities now surpass those of the old members.
Yes, but is that really safe? We're told that these new members aren't ready yet.
It'll be fine.
While Ryo and Mayu recover slowly in the hospital, Lilica is assigned to work with them, and although they solve cases, these new warriors cause massive collateral damage. Lilica gathers information about the new warriors and how the police are actually working with the underworld to develop these superpowered warriors, and sends it to Ryo. Ryo then tells Mayu, who is still in the hospital, and they together decide to fight back. Outgunned and underpowered, Ryo, Mayu, and Lilica take on the new warriors and the evil warriors commander in the final episodes of the show. And this literally stretches from episode 9 all the way to episode 12. So, I mean, I actually really enjoyed the last volume this time around, because this was a lot closer to what I was expecting from the series. The tone was there. There's a lot of action in it. Some good heroics. As I said, I already liked all the characters anyway, but I wanted to see them prevail and defeat the evil warriors and regain their jobs. So I mean, I enjoyed that, but on the whole, I still think it is the weakest of the series. I'm not certain what other people think about it, because as I said, there's a major tone shift in episode 10. It's the tone that I was looking more for, but I'm certain there are some people like, well, the first 8 episodes of this series was great. It was funny. We had some action. All the girls were cute, and then suddenly there was like all this like violence and drama, and I wasn't expecting that. So, as I said, I still give it a thumbs up. Out of 5 stars, I'd give it a 2.5. I wouldn't go out of my way to see BurnUp Scramble, but if it's there and you got nothing better to do, there are worse ways of spending 12 half hours of your life. So I say check it out, and I'll come back to you a bit later and I will review another anime, and hopefully this time I won't ramble as much, or maybe I should ramble. I don't know. I don't know if you like the rambling. Is rambling okay? So rambling what you pay for. Well, actually you don't pay for anything, it's free. But if you did pay for it, would that be something you would pay for? I do not know. My name is Shawn Robinson. Do all the YouTube things. Subscribe to my channel. Like this video if you like it. Even if you don't like it, still like it anyway. It says I want as many likes as I humanly can. And you don't need to dislike something. That's just mean. You should be a positive Pete. And I'll be back and I'll be reviewing other stuff in the future. So share, like, and subscribe.